Welcome to Cutting Down the Nets. I'm not even listing a day today. It's D-Day. This is a interesting day. There are a lot of plays, and it's not like I'm stretching it. Like everything's just standing out. So I'll let you decide which games you want to sit out or be a degenerate like me and bet all of these. And there is a lot of games. Oh, here we go. 3 days left. Let's make it happen. Another win yesterday. 7-5, including a dog overtime loss. The climb continues. It's now 57% over the last 114 games. We're starting to see that the 3-20 was a mirage. Thank God. Here's the pool. You'll see a lot of green. That means I've placed bets. Here's the problem with today. This isn't like, okay, there is 15 games that have a difference of like 3.5 points from my line versus the Vegas line. So, might decide which ones I'm going to sit out. All of these are like 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, it's going to be wild. So something to note, Seattle is also in play. I'm just going to monitor that a little bit. Might add one more. And then Louisiana Tech, they've confirmed they're without their best player for the conference tournament. If they happen to escape, he'll be back for March Madness. It sounds like he hurt his hand playing a game against Our Lady of the Lake late in the season, which should be a lesson to all of you who want to schedule games against Our Lady of the Lake late in the season. Rest of the games. Not much to note here when a card's as big as ours is. I'm not looking to add to it, but I guess if Oregon got to 10, I'd be in on some Oregon State. But yeah, a lot of information. Something to note on SMU, their last game was February 8th. So, something to note. Kind of interesting. So that's what we've got for the rest of the games if you're curious on the other ones. So let's get into our giant card today. Last night I locked in Buffalo -3. They're currently 4. But I would list this as a play, whatever or better. Like, you couldn't ask me a line and say, it's now 6. Should I still play it? I'm going to say yes. Whether that's right or not, I don't know. Because clearly lines are not this inefficient. But Akron has slid throughout the year. I've watched these teams play a game. Buffalo, I think, led by 25 in the second half, but somehow won the game by 2 or 4, something like that. So anything's possible. I totally get it. 100% understand. Buffalo's a killer, man. They hold the record for number of lost live bets I've had during March Madness as I kept betting Arizona as they beat Arizona by 30 points. It's like, oh, now it's 14. Hit it again. 17. Hit it again. Oh, pain. All right, game number 2. Snacks. It's Jackson State. I think you got 2.5 right now as well. So that is some good news. But yeah, team manager Snacks Lee got into the game, and you always see the video of him making the 3. This was a couple years ago. He also missed 3 before that shot. Acts like he got in the game. You'll never believe what happened. No, he got in the game and started chucking. And then, hey, I'm proud of him. I love it. It's a fun story. But act like he got in and just iced one. No, it was raindrops. All right, game 3. Don't you know who I am? I'm Patrick Chewing. I was in a Snickers commercial. You now have 3 on this line, which is good. Take it. I'm fine. Let's go. I do have respect for Seton Hall's coach, Kevin Willard, as a good tournament coach, but he's also had like Miles Powell and some elite playmakers, and he's got Mamu now. So yeah, well, I don't. Maybe he's not a good coach. Maybe he's just got phenomenal tournament players. All right, next game on the card, UConn. This is a pick'em or UConn +1. I've got UConn by 6.5. What I'm doing is only using James Booknight games for their profile. He missed 8 or 9 games between January and February. But it didn't change it a whole lot. So even if you include the games he missed, this is still a strong play. And it's just that UConn is much better defensively than Creighton. But Creighton's streaky. Creighton can heat it up. Should be a good game. I'm on the Huskies. Next game. We're going back. Give me one more. Stedman, taking you out. One more, Pastner. Even if you lose this game, just give us one more. Tripped up against Miami. Had a scare with Alvarado. We live on. Let's just get one more. Next up, Southern Utah. They have the Bobcats of Montana State. And we had to use a stock image for this game and many of the games on this list. Not much to say about the Thunderbirds. Next up, Fred Van Fleet. Wichita State. I believe I'm seeing some 10s out there now. I'm okay with that. Should be a good tune-up game as they look to advance in their conference tourney. South Florida has been a play against for me for a while, and Wichita State comes into today's card as a play. Next up, Fairfield. School so small, we have a checkered background on this image. What do we do? So here's the deal. St. Peter's is elite defensively. They play slow. They're awful offensively. Can't make a jump shot, but they're rough. I don't know. Like, this feels like a grind it out type of game. I have Fairfield within 1. But just knowing these situations when the superior defensive team is playing a team that has trouble to score, they can get these long stretches that certainly affect the outcome. Did it scare me away? No. I played it. We move on. Lamar. I think we'll get 13 here. It's not there yet, but I'm going to wait for 13. Abilene Christian is the class of the conference. They have been for years. Them and Stephen F. Austin. This is a team that has kind of slid down the stretch, but a similar situation. Abilene Christian is a fairly good defensive team. Lamar not bad themselves, but you could run into some scoring droughts, which is pretty frustrating. But that's a lot of points. If we get 13, I've got it 6.8. We ride on. Hey, we're back to the big schools. Look, Bama's good. Love Bama. Their offense has dropped off, which is going to happen with the type of play they have, but their defense has not. There are better spots for Alabama than a slow Ben Howland game. So I have this at 3.2, and Bama's always capable of just blowing your socks off. It is possible, but feels like there are better spots in the future for Bama than today against Mississippi State. Bobcat, Pacer, Bobcat. We're going Bobcat. 3.5. I have 1.5. Play Bobcat. Easy game. Toledo. If you look at bracket projections, Toledo's just in because they were the conference leader going into the tournament, regular season champ, whatever you might have. But their defense is not good, and their offense is good. It's fun and all that sort of stuff. But I think they lose today to Ohio, and if not, our Buffalo will get them tomorrow. Next game, more crap schools. We are now against Morgan State. Morgan State, the thesis of the Morgan State play wasn't Morgan State. It was who Morgan State was playing. And now we have a competent opponent, and we're actually on the other side. I have Coppin State favored, but they're getting 4 points. Next up, Big Country. Don't mistake this as a play against Baylor. This is just a play on Okie State. I still respect Baylor. I don't know what's wrong with their defense, but it's creeping towards adjusted efficiency of 100, which I would expect it to be more in the 88 to 91 range. And that's where Okie State's defense is. So this comes down to just being enough points as you'd expect. So I'm going to take Okie State plus 9. That's just too good of a team to get 9 points. Risk, Baylor can beat anybody by 40 points. Maybe they're a little angry about that K-State game that we crushed. Next up, this is Nick Collison playing high school basketball. No, I am not in the background, but I could have been as I played basketball against Nick Collison. Claim to fame. Kansas, I've got them by 4, but something to note, their rim protector, David McCormick, who is an inconsistent player at best, is probably needed against this Texas team with Jericho Sims, Greg Brown. They're big, athletic, and they do not have David McCormick available. So, I don't know. I have a feeling Bill Self can figure it out, and I have enough of a cushion here that I think will be fine. Plus, I think Texas is going to close as a favorite here, so you'll get maybe a point or a point and a half, and I'm in. We had bad karma with the last Iowa, so let's turn the page. Let's look forward and remember AC Earl and Dr. Tom as we get ready to exercise the demons. This Iowa defense is now at 91.2 for adjusted defensive efficiency. As long as I've been doing this, they've been in the 96 to 99 range, where it's like, yeah, you have a great offense, but if you can't stop anybody, you're not going to go anywhere. This may be the year that we could at least get to the second weekend. Wisconsin looked good against Penn State as they made tons of jump shots, and then looked bad against Penn State as they stopped making jump shots and kind of succumbed to the pressure. Iowa will not be pressuring the ball in any way, shape, or form. And this game probably would close as the most likely to have a fist fight today. So we'll see what happens. Could be interesting. I got the Hawks by 8.2. Not much room there. We are getting to the bottom of our value range. Final play. Rack. Give me Iona. I've got them by 9.5 against Niagara. I'd play that to 6. Niagara coached by Greg Paulus. Yes, that Greg Paulus. So we've got an experience edge, I would say, on the Iona side. Comes down to data. Iona is an average team. Niagara is a below average team. I think we can get to the 5.5. Should be close. Could be down to the final possession. But that is today's giant card. How do you handle a giant card is up to you. If this was March Madness, you'd bet all these games. Given that it's Friday, March 12th, and March Madness is getting close, you may look at the stock images, pictures, and be like, I'm going to set those out. I'm playing them all. I think consistency is the best approach because if you sit out 2 winners and then, I don't know. It's just kind of how life goes. So you can always scale down your bets, play them all. Pick the ones you like. Pick the ones you're going to watch on TV. Who cares? You won't lose a bet you don't make. So that is cutting down the nets. This is our D-Day. This is our last stand. We're a few games above 500 for the season. We are 16 games above 500 in our last 100 or so. Today we'll swing the pendulum. Thanks for stopping by and have a fantastic Conference Tournament Friday.